Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Prince Milan TV. Subscribe to the channel. Remember, guys, to follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, Prince Milan Facebook, or Prince Milan Facebook group, or Prince Milan TV. We are available also on Twitter at PMilaENT. Today is 10 January 2022. So, guys, here's the latest news. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission (ZEC) yesterday admitted it had deprived thousands of prospective first-time voters an opportunity to participate in the upcoming by-elections after it failed to provide adequate and accessible registration centers throughout the country. ZEC has already closed the voters' roll for the by-elections slated for March 26 this year. The electoral body has been in the eye of a storm over the past few weeks after it gave two different figures regarding the number of first-time voters it registered last year. Initially, it said only 2,000 had registered as first-time voters throughout the year, but later revised the figure 2,951. ZEC quoted the eye of civil groups after it initially indicated that 22,000 deceased voters would be removed from the voters' roll before bumping up the figure to 35,085. ZEC spokesperson Joyce Kazembe yesterday said that the electoral management body had realized that several people failed to register to vote due to inaccessibility of its 72 district centers. She said as the country prepared for the 2023 general elections, ZEC would roll out 9,000 biometric voter registration kits to ensure that people travel short distances to registration centers. We know that there are some who stay far from the district offices who may not be able to easily access the registration center. But for now, we are abiding by the law, but we are sorry. However, the registration process is still ongoing for other elections and the by-elections. We have 9,000 biometric voter registration kits that will roll out throughout the country to ensure complete accessibility of the registration service. But civil society groups and rights lawyers accuse ZEC of deliberately minimizing access to the voter registration centers to frustrate potential first-time voters being mobilized by various groups. Constitutional lawyer Lavo Maduku said some provisions of the Electoral Act also deprived a significant number of people of the opportunity to vote, hence the need to amend the legislation. Centralization of the registration centers could have deprived people of their right to vote, but they need to amend the Electoral Act for it to enhance continuous registration processes and afford every citizen the opportunity to vote, Maduku said. The Act states that the voters' rolls closes when the local authority vacancy arises, but with the electorate know that very well. In this section, an individual may be able to vote for the National Assembly member but fail to vote for the councillor. There are some citizens who develop the interest to vote only when there is a proclamation. Every reasonable democracy allows them to vote. There is also a need for training of civil society on the key constitutional dictates of the electoral process so that they provide the necessary essential information to people, he added. Zimbabwe Elections Network chairperson Andrew Makoni said a number of citizens had failed to register to vote because ZEC was not providing adequate information to encourage people to vote. Most of the ZEC registration centers were closed for the greater part of last year owing to the COVID-19 pandemic, and citizens failed to register. Given the low number of new people who are said to have registered to vote last year, it appears as if the voting rights are entitled to those who participated in the 2018 general elections. Of concern is the difficulty in accessing national identity documents, which has barred a number of citizens from registering to vote, Makoni said. Women's Academy for Leadership Excellency Executive Director Stabile Dewa said ZEC suspended the mobile voter registration that had been slated for December 6, 2021. Many people, especially first-time voters, would have gotten an opportunity to register and vote in the upcoming by-elections if it had not suspended the blitz. Considering the current economic challenges, citizens, especially women, have little money to spare for transport costs for them to travel and register to vote. Rights lawyers Alec Muchadehama added, the right to vote is a fundamental right enshrined in the Constitution. ZEC violated such right and breach the texts of some international treaties that Zimbabwe is signatory to that cannot be corrected by a mere apology. There's always been problems on how ZEC conducts its elections, resulting in lack of transparency and the credibility of its conduct. So guys, that's the latest here regarding to ZEC. And it's unfortunate that those first-time voters wanted to register to vote for my by-elections. The registration is closed, and ZEC is saying that we are sorry. And so still opening is for the general elections for 2023 for the new time voters. And so let's go and register to vote. But for my by-elections are 26 March, kana ngo usina kuregister kuvota, you won't be able to vote on March 26 when ZEC conduct those elections, those by-elections. And so we'll keep you guys in the loop. This is a daily news, everyday news break. Remember guys to like, share and comment and follow us here, and we follow back. And we're on Twitter at PMillerENT, so you need to follow us on Twitter. And this is a daily news, breaking news on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Thank you very much for listening and watching.